One pretty accurate way of determining if you're bearing and repressing emotions from childhood is to scan the horizon of your life and look to see if you feel less powerful or more powerful than anybody else. Do you experience a sense of inferiority or superiority, or sometimes both, around any specific person or people? Another way to say it, who do you become a child around? Who do you become an adult around? Or who do you just not know how to act around? Whoever that person or those people are, your boss, your president, your spouse, your child, your customer, your client, those are your mom and dad or caregiver surrogates. Meaning this is the person who activates your emotional repression mechanism. And keep in mind, for some people, this is any other person or all other people. The mechanics of it are this: mom and dad, or your caregivers, conditioned you to repress certain emotions when you were a kid in order to get their love or get their protection. If dad was a hurt repressor with a resultant superiority complex, then he rewarded the repression of hurt and its resultant superiority complex in his children. And he likely shamed or belittled any expression of vulnerable emotions like hurt, grief, and sadness. If mom was an anger repressor with a resultant inferiority complex, she praised the repression of anger and its resultant presentation of fake vulnerability or sensitivity, and was likely critical or passive-aggressive toward any expression of anger or power. If emotional repression had like a catchy chorus or a refrain, it would be this: if I'm not allowed to feel and express this, then neither is anybody else. And if they do, there will be consequences like bullying, shaming, criticism, the withholding of love, disconnection. So now you've got these kids who are pushing down half of their experience or their life force or themselves in order to get needs met and in order to avoid punishment. And when these kids become adults, they're still stuck in that gear, right? Because of the buried repressed emotions in their body, they're forced into an inferiority or superiority complex, or like I said earlier, sometimes both. On the anger repression side, this is what drives hypervigilance, monitoring, walking on eggshells, people-pleasing, depression. On the hurt repression side, it drives shutdown, disconnection from self, aggression, overcompensation, sociopathy sometimes. Both states are pretty much a nightmare to live in, and both states are also the result of compulsively burying and repressing childhood emotions. Some people might term the superiority complex narcissism and the inferiority covert narcissism, but I don't like to pathologize what are two pretty innocently created and frankly easily resolvable suffering states, right? People don't have a choice over this when they're in emotional repression. And as far as I've seen and I've looked, there's not been many, if any, modalities that bring about the direct resolution of emotional repression in the body. And so until the development of KI's emotional repression inquiry, which is our work, people kind of really didn't have a choice in the matter when it came to these things. They were forced to manage the symptoms of emotional repression like superiority and inferiority instead of resolving emotional repression. So if you'd like to do the latter, then tap the link in the caption of the bio.